these rocks on Mars the most shocking to Perseverance scientists? Welcome to episode 11 of Tuy and Matt. Are we truly alone in the universe?
For centuries, that question has haunted humanity. In the 19th century, Mars, a mysterious red planet, suddenly became a focus. But the hunt for aliens, with dreams of distant civilizations blazing brightly.
Until NASA probes sent back shocking images, a cold, dead desert. Or is that just what they want us to see? Could a more horrifying truth be hiding beneath the deep red dust of Mars?
Let's find the answer with Tuy and Matt in this video.
Scientists began searching for signs of liquid water on this planet. A crucial discovery was made in the 1970s. Liquid water once existed on Mars. This was a turning point in the study of extraterrestrial life.
If life could develop in two different places
in the solar system, perhaps it exists elsewhere too. NASA prepared for this exploration by sending the Perseverance rover with a mission to collect fossilized microorganisms on Mars. On July 30, 2020, Perseverance was launched into space aboard an Atlas V rocket. This event coincided with China and the UAE also launching their own probes. The 7-month journey was an exciting race. But the most tense part was the landing process through Mars' atmosphere. Landing a rover on another planet is not easy. The rover had to travel
at speeds over 16,000 kilometers per hour and pinpoint a landing site 4,000 kilometers away. After entering the atmosphere, temperatures rose above 1,300 degrees Celsius. The onboard computers had to automatically adjust the position for a safe landing. When the spacecraft reached an altitude of about 60 kilometers,
it slowed down to 3,000 kilometers per hour. This is when things got interesting. A giant 21-meter parachute was deployed, helping it decelerate and find a safe landing spot. Finally, on February 18, 2021, Perseverance successfully landed on the Martian surface. This is NASA's most ambitious rover, not only resembling its predecessor,
Curiosity, but also featuring many significant improvements.
Perseverance's wheels are designed thicker and wider, with a longer robotic arm to
collect data more effectively. The scientific tools on the rover are also special. Perseverance has a powerful camera called the super camera, which helps identify rock composition remotely.
This allows it to examine intriguing rocks without getting too close.
If any rock is identified as interesting, Perseverance will approach closer to use precise analytical devices,
such as color cameras and laser cameras. Each rock has its own story, and Perseverance will find clues about life on this planet. In an exciting discovery, scientists found that one of the rock samples collected on Mars might come from a meteorite believed to be from the Red Planet. If this is confirmed, it would be the first case of a rock from Mars being brought back to Earth, completing a round trip while a device acting as a weather station monitors factors like pressure, humidity, temperature, and dust levels behind the rover. Notably, the ground-penetrating radar on the rover will assist in subsurface geological surveys, helping researchers better understand the planet's structure. Remarkably, a special experimental module named MOXIE
will be used to test the ability to extract oxygen from Mars' thin atmosphere.
This is crucial for the survival of future human settlements,
as producing rocket fuel on Mars will require a lot of oxygen.
However, producing fuel for the return trip to Earth is also a challenge, as the red planet's gravity makes fuel transportation more complicated.
According to estimates, 30 to 40 tons of propellant are needed for the return journey,
making the mission even more difficult. However, if oxygen can be produced from the atmosphere, it would significantly reduce the amount of fuel needed for space travel.
The main goal of the Perseverance mission is to search for rocks that may preserve fossilized microorganisms.
The cameras and spectrometers have identified promising candidates, and the arm is equipped with a drill that can abrade the outer layer of the rock to expose the pristine surface underneath.
If the research team decides to sample the rock, the drill can collect a core and pass it through the rover's body,
where a second arm will move the core to a sealed location for storage. Each sample will be stored in one of 20 storage tubes on board. Notably, before launch, Perseverance was thoroughly cleaned to avoid contamination both of the samples
and of small gas traces from the rover that could affect research indicators.
Additionally, some witness tubes were prepared to collect particulate contaminants in the environment. These tubes will be opened to record surrounding factors and then sealed like regular samples. Comparing the witness tubes with stored samples helps scientists identify contaminants and find ways to remove them.
However, Perseverance will not be able to confirm the existence of microbial life on its own.
It is designed as a precursor mission, with the aim of sending samples back to Earth for further study. NASA is preparing for a sample return mission, expected to launch in 2026, in which the rover will collect samples and return them to a lander, where it will meet an orbiter.
The return journey of the samples will take place in 2028, forming a very complex system.
But it is hoped that the research teams will complete everything as planned in the coming years. When the rover turned on its camera to observe the surroundings, for the first time it saw itself in the middle of a dry, desolate red landscape that people had expected from Mars.
The surrounding terrain is quite flat, but there are also scattered rocks.
Scientists chose Perseverance's landing site at Jezero Crater because it has notable rocks that the rover can collect from different geological periods without much difficulty, which will help scientists better understand the geological history of Jezero Crater and identify the most likely sites to detect life. Perseverance is expected to conduct a crater campaign to thoroughly study the area near the landing site before moving to the area called Jezero Delta. Although Perseverance landed in February, it took nearly 5 months for it to begin its first major efforts to leave the safe site and start its main mission. This is not only because scientists needed time to test the equipment and software, but also because Perseverance carried a secret passenger, Ingenuity, a small helicopter. This is the first time humans have tested building a helicopter on Mars. After conducting thorough checks, on April 3rd, Perseverance finally placed Ingenuity on the hard ground of Mars, allowing it to experience its first cold night. Ingenuity's survival through the night without incident delighted scientists as Ingenuity began its first flights, despite some software glitches. On April 19th, it successfully performed the first controlled flight on another planet.
The flight was conducted automatically, as remote control would face significant delays due to the distance between Earth and Mars.
Ingenuity's flight proved that testing rotors on Mars is feasible, with the helicopter reaching an altitude of 3 meters and hovering for 39 seconds, truly a remarkable success for new technology. Although Ingenuity was not expected to operate long-term, it has become a useful tool for Perseverance, helping the rover find better routes and detect points of interest that satellites cannot identify. Meanwhile, Perseverance has also begun conducting its own experiments. It successfully collected the first sounds from the Martian surface, creating a vivid sense of the wind on the planet.
Additionally, it has taken many panoramic photos of the surrounding landscape and successfully extracted oxygen from carbon dioxide in the Martian atmosphere using the MOXIE device.
Although MOXIE is only a small prototype, demonstrating that it can work as an important preliminary step for future human life on Mars. With the exciting discoveries and tests conducted, Perseverance is ready to begin the journey to search for extraterrestrial life. However, to do this, scientists need to carefully plan research objectives.
Since they only have a limited number of sample tubes to collect various types of rocks, they need to choose sites likely to contain signs of life,
or provide insights into the formation and age of the crater. In the following days, Perseverance began moving south. From the landing site at Octavia E. Butler Landing to the area called Sida. Although less than a mile from the landing site, it took nearly 60 days for the rover to reach this location. Due to the rocky surface of Mars,
Full of obstacles, moving on this surface is very difficult.
and scientists are closely monitoring to ensure that Perseverance can continue its journey safely. This journey is not merely about searching for signs of life,
But also a journey of exploration, research, and anticipation of the mysteries that Mars still hides. To navigate the rugged terrain on Mars, the Perseverance rover operations team must be extremely careful. Its 52.5 centimeters diameter wheels can only move on surfaces that are not too soft. Otherwise, it would be easy to encounter danger.
a typical example is the Spirit rover that was once stuck for a month among sand dunes. Therefore, selecting the route for Perseverance is a task requiring careful consideration.
Avoiding areas that are too hard, but also not venturing into sandy patches.
Previously,
These decisions were typically made from Earth with an average signal delay of up to 20 minutes. However, Perseverance has been equipped with advanced AI software named Alternative, allowing you to automatically assess the surrounding environment and choose the best route to move. Although still requiring supervision from Earth, this level of autonomy helps the rover operate faster and conduct more scientific missions.
on July 20th, Perseverance began its journey to search for pieces of the past. Scientists designated a rock to test the rover's drilling capability, and Perseverance successfully conducted a test. Named Paving Stone, the drilling proceeded smoothly, allowing them to collect data about the rock the rover was sampling, from grain size to chemical composition. By August 6th, Perseverance had moved to another rock named Ron and conducted its first core sampling.
More than 90 engineers and scientists monitored remotely. They were very excited to see the rover on the right track. Drilling to a depth of 7 centimeters is programmed.
However, the mission quickly turned into worry when scientists discovered the sample tube was empty.
They were very confused, not understanding where the sample had gone. Having encountered similar situations before, scientists realized the problem lay with the rock itself.
The rock that Perseverance drilled was very brittle, as it was crushed into dust when the rover attempted to collect the sample. Although this was unfortunate, scientists remained hopeful because there were no signs of technical issues with the rover. Far from giving up, they speculated that the rocks in this area might be too weathered, making sample collection difficult. Not long after, Perseverance discovered another group of rocks about 150 meters away, which appeared to be more solid. These rocks were named Ancient Citadel, hoping this time they could collect a better sample. On September 1st, Perseverance conducted a second drilling test. Each test was months apart,
requiring every decision to be carefully considered.
Finally, Perseverance succeeded in collecting a 6 centimeters long sample and took photos to confirm to scientists that everything went well this time. The first samples from Mars are ready to be sent back to Earth in a future mission, to continue exploring whether there are any signs of life on the red planet. Although Perseverance has successfully collected many samples,
scientists still face many challenges.
The long wait between tests is an inevitable part of the process. Meanwhile, the Sun often makes communication between Mars and Earth difficult when the two planets are not aligned.
When this phenomenon occurs, all communication is almost interrupted.
Scientists can only wait until conditions become favorable again. By the end of 2021, when signals from Perseverance returned to normal, the rover continued its exploration journey. One of the interesting stopping points was an area with layered rocks, which could provide insights into the geological history of Mars. Each rock layer might represent different periods in the planet's past, allowing scientists to investigate whether signs of life could be found.
However, sand dunes remain a potential danger. Perseverance must move carefully to avoid getting stuck.
To address this issue, the rover used Ingenuity, a helicopter sent to conduct reconnaissance. Ingenuity helped Perseverance find safe routes to approach important rocks. After skillfully selecting the path,
Perseverance collected many new samples from protruding rocks.
They are called brag.
Interestingly, these samples were not sedimentary rocks as everyone predicted, but rather igneous rocks formed from magma, indicating volcanic activity had once occurred on Mars.
Although this might disappoint scientists because there are no signs of life in these rock samples,
it still opens up new possibilities about environmental conditions on the red planet.
Finally, while returning from another device, Perseverance encountered a minor issue.
The sample tube got stuck due to a few small pebbles, which could lead to stopping sample collection. But the NASA team was prepared for this situation.
They used the rover's cameras to view the situation in real time and eventually found a way to resolve the problem.
Through many challenges and hardships, Perseverance has proven its ability to overcome difficulties,
continuing the journey of exploration and research on Mars.
Careful decisions and advanced technology have helped the rover get closer to uncovering the secrets of this planet.
Perseverance, the resilient space rover, is advancing deep into the desert with a great mission:
to explore and collect evidence of life that once existed on Mars.
After crossing the vast sand dunes of Sarsen, it began its journey into a new plane, where traces of ancient water flows may remain in the sediment layers. This area was once part of a vibrant ecosystem,
possibly containing valuable clues about the red planet's past. Despite being equipped with modern technology, Perseverance cannot avoid challenges from the harsh terrain.
When moving, it is always cautious, choosing wise routes to avoid loose sand dunes that could trap it. The surface of Sarsen is flatter, creating favorable conditions for Perseverance to maximize its capabilities.
Although it only moves 8 meters per day, equivalent to the length of 3 football fields,
this is still an impressive achievement for an unmanned rover.
This process has helped Perseverance cover a distance more than 50% longer
than the previous record set by the Opportunity rover in 2005. Notably, Perseverance automatically identifies and selects the best route thanks to its intelligent AI system. This system helps it avoid obstacles and rough terrain.
This not only creates a smooth driving experience,
but also allows the rover to access promising areas without human intervention. With a maximum speed of 120 meters per hour, this rover still has much potential to explore unknown lands. However, Perseverance doesn't always receive support from Earth. One of its notable achievements is completing a 3-day drive without any intervention from the control center. This was a major challenge because rovers typically need human assistance to ensure they don't get lost in the dangerous environment, although there are still some uncertainties in tracking its location. This autonomy allows it to operate more independently, able to perform missions without constant supervision. As Perseverance continues its journey to Delta, it's not only exploring new territory,
but also conducting many exciting research missions.
One of the standout tools in its equipment is a laser designed to analyze the chemical composition of rocks. This laser can heat rocks to 10,000 degrees Celsius,
turning them into plasma and helping identify their internal chemical composition.
On March 11, 2002, Perseverance fired its laser at a purple rock, vaporizing the outer layer to reveal the interior.
Although each shot only drills a 1 millimeter deep hole,
this has helped the rover collaborate with scientists to collect valuable data about the planet.
During its 8.5 kilometers journey over 4 months, Perseverance accidentally picked up a small rock
to hinder the rover. This rock became its companion on the journey. S larger mission hasn't. However, not long after Perseverance approached Delta, an unexpected event occurred. The Ingenuity helicopter, Perseverance's companion
since the beginning of the mission, lost contact. Ingenuity became the first flying machine on Mars, having accompanied Perseverance through many explorations,
searching for safe routes for the rover and detecting potential hazards. With an initial mission planned for only 30 days, Ingenuity exceeded all expectations, becoming an important part of Perseverance's exploration journey. While Ingenuity once performed miraculous flights, providing information and support for Perseverance, now, Ingenuity's silence makes the rover feel the absence of a friend. Although they weren't always close to each other, communication between these two machines was always maintained via radio waves. When the next scheduled call came and Ingenuity didn't respond, Perseverance began to worry about its companion. However, Perseverance didn't let the concern affect its journey.
With dedication and determination, it continued exploring new territories, searching for signs of past life and collecting valuable samples for science.
Perseverance's journey on Mars, though full of challenges, carried hope and discovery.
Reflecting the spirit of perseverance not only of itself, but of all humanity in the journey of exploring the universe.
When Ingenuity, NASA's small helicopter, suddenly fell silent,
scientists at the control center couldn't help but feel anxious and confused.
In their minds, a series of questions arose, wondering if something serious had happened to the helicopter. They speculated that Ingenuity might have encountered a problem. Possibly it had automatically switched to energy-saving mode,
leading to an inability to communicate with Perseverance, the rover waiting for a signal from his companion.
Throughout the day, Perseverance anxiously waited, unsure if Ingenuity would wake up and resume communication. By the end of the day, luck smiled when Ingenuity reported that it was intact, with no major errors.
However, a concerning truth gradually emerged. The level of dust in the Martian atmosphere was increasing,
preventing Ingenuity's solar panels from capturing enough light. This led to the battery dropping to a dangerously low level, and Ingenuity was forced to switch to safe mode to protect itself. In the following days, Ingenuity paused operations to allow the battery time to recharge. But this came at a cost.
Ingenuity had to conserve more energy, only turning on the heating system when temperatures dropped to -40°C, instead of -15°C as before, making each night on Mars colder,
and adding pressure on both Ingenuity and Perseverance as they continued their journey exploring the Red Planet. After crossing the dunes of Solace Sands, Perseverance and Ingenuity entered the Delta region,
where a completely new campaign was about to begin. In over a year and a half of work on Mars, Perseverance had achieved many significant accomplishments. From collecting valuable scientific data to overcoming a series of challenges intelligently and carefully,
it had proven its capability and endurance. But the biggest question remained: would Perseverance truly find signs of life on this planet? We will only know the definitive answer when the samples it collected return to Earth. Although no specific evidence has been found, each effort by Perseverance contributes to a deeper understanding of the planet. What excites us most is the thought that within the small, carefully preserved samples inside the rover, there might lie undeniable evidence of life that once existed on Mars. Perhaps within the next decade, we will find the answer to this age-old question. While waiting, Perseverance continues to steadfastly carry out its mission.
Its exploration journey on the Red Planet is not just a scientific mission,
but also a symbol of humanity's relentless spirit in seeking truth and exploring the universe.
The combination of advanced technology and human intelligence has created fascinating journeys,
opening new horizons for our knowledge and understanding. Alongside Perseverance's unceasing efforts, we cannot forget the importance of Ingenuity in this journey. The small helicopter has helped open new paths and detect potential dangers so the rover could avoid them. However, Ingenuity's expected lifespan was only 30 days, and now, time has exceeded that prediction.
Each day the helicopter remains operational is a precious gift to scientists.
Think the two wouldn't. They still maintained radio contact. But when at one point, Ingenuity didn't respond again, scientists at the control center were very worried. They wondered what was happening to Ingenuity. When Ingenuity reappeared in the system, they breathed a sigh of relief.
Although there were no serious issues, the level of dust in the air remained a major problem.
The new type probe had to reduce its workload to protect the battery, creating new challenges for both devices. These challenges only heightened the excitement about what Perseverance might discover in the Delta region.
Scientists have prepared for an entirely new campaign, where new information could reveal secrets about the Red Planet.
They are well aware that,
even if no signs of life are found, Every effort contributes to humanity's ongoing journey of exploration.
Ultimately, Perseverance will continue its journey with steadfast determination, regardless of what may happen in the future.
Its journey forever stands as a testament to humanity's relentless effort to explore and understand the universe.
Perseverance's journey is not just a scientific adventure, but also a symbol of the grand dreams we aspire to in the future.